musical break, and of course, if you've just got on the show, T-Youth is a situation upon your living room, and of course, it's proudly brought to you by yours, or hosted by me, yours truly, Gatx, aka Mr. G, up in here. Shout out to everyone catching up the show from wherever you could be catching up the show from. Happy Easter holiday once again, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, to be a part of this particular show, man, ojja kuba opisiza mu mpolampola gontegeze wajja sinzidde okubanga olaba sheno ku Easter ngeno omweno Easter holiday mpolampola biki besuubira okubanga okola. How are you planning on spending your Easter, or else what are some of the things that have made your stay at home very fantastic and at cloud nine up in there in Polampola. So at this time of the hour, we just left with a few minutes to go into a short commercial break, but hey, let's real quick dive into what has been making trends on internet. Okay, so I'll start with Joshua Baraka up in there real quick. So Joshua Baraka last week Tubagamba, he was nominated in the Mobile Awards. They were taking Nigeria up in there, and of course, a couple of different artists were nominated. Okay, but of course, Joshua Baraka happened to lose to Wizkid in the category of Best African Act up in there in Polampola, and of course, we are malo kuluzinga what in a treating. Kati we are treating. Bali batandika okuvayo nga bamugamba next time better bichi kati twali tuli awo ne batandika okuvayo nga batandika okwekopearinga ne Joshua Baraka bichi oyo tali kututradinga nga bana Uganda oyo so many people came out with different opinions about Joshua Baraka's music and journey, but of course this wasn't the first time people were coming out on Joshua Baraka, bare knuckles. But yale tavangayo kwogera kitu kyonna, tavangayo kuddamu muntu yenna, tavangayo yadde kubaako muntu ga disrespecting in any way. But of course this time round twabadde tuli awo nga abantu abenjawulo bamaze okuwa opinioni zaabwe about his loss of the mobile, about his kind of music he does, about his artistry, kind of vibe. Kati twade tuli awo Joshua Baraka n'abaako ekintu kye tweeting side ze ku snap. Yaze n'agamba wati, why don't you as a musician just keep quiet and do music? If you're an artist, make art, let it speak. Music has become PR and I'm tired. We should all go back to studio. Enough is enough. Do you have to have an opinion on everything? Let's leave some things for listeners to debate. Just convince us with your music. Anyway, let me also go back to studio. So he came up and put a short, precise, message. Must artists debate or have a debate on everything? We gotta leave some things to the listeners. Go hit the studio, make music, and let your art speak for you. Kyekino kye bagamba nti ne gw'ozadde akubira engoma n'ozina. Yes! Yabaviriddeyo, people were like, I have so many classics, I have so many hits, ate mbumbu chi. Yabagambye nedda, if you're an artist, go make music, let music talk, and let the listeners do the debates. I don't see reason as why you as an artist, engages in debates for listeners. Orabaze nasirika. But Joshua Baraka we yakoze. Rakwasi nalabayo muntu yena yavudeyo maybe kwadinga something on his street, but I just feel like he gave them the right reply. Instead of being on YouTube interviews, instead of doing different podcasts discussing about Joshua Baraka, mugende mukole nyimba, namwe mugende baba nominating, namwe mukole big moves ezakabi mpolampola. Hey, ekitu kitambule mumbere mubendala. But on the other hand, I believe if Joshua Baraka is one artist that has managed to represent Uganda globally in the music, sector, we as Ugandans, we just need to back him up. Ochitegera, we just need to back him up. Make sure we create more Joshua Barakas like him, babenga about representing or tuyambeka abo mu ngeri gye tubasobodde okubayamba abali mu lane nga olaba ya Joshua Baraka. Talk about the accolades, the expect service, the mbewos, okitegeera abaana bato tubayambeko tubakwatireko mpola and Joshua Baraka doing whatever is doing now tekitegeeza nti tebibangawo oba tebikolebwanga, because at peaks of people like Bebe Cool babikola, they are as well nominated the Mobos okitegeera yaswa kwanti kale Bebe Cool we are nominating at Yawangula, and Joshua Baraka is the second Ugandan to be nominated at Yawangula. But that shows that at least they are recognizing our music, because ever since Bebe Cool was nominated, it had taken around 10 years plus to nominate any other Ugandan up in there in the Mobos okitegeera. But right now Joshua Baraka yaliko, so you have to embrace that oba twagala oba tetwagala. So as a way of promoting our own, we just have to put him there, not to make statements as because at the end of the day this is put on internet, and other people in different countries that are being inspired by Joshua Baraka, that would love to work with Joshua Baraka, that are seeing Joshua Baraka in a different kind of style baba okitegeera goyinza okulozesa opinion yo mbuyagala nayo kugusa nsonga, but at the end of the day weina some damages unknowingly zoli mu kuteeka ku brand Joshua Baraka. But brethren, we pray that you continue representing, and of course make big moves on different big stages and platforms up in there. So that's like what's up with Joshua Baraka mpola. So artists, let's make music, okay? So on the other flip side, Kanye West, who is as now known as Ye, he made another big star move okitegeera. He continued to make big statements in the entertainment industry actually in the global entertainment industry, if I'm to say. Now he had a performance or a concert down in SOFI Stadium in the Los Angeles, right there in America, in Mpola, in a stadium that has a capacity of around 70 seats plus. And of course this particular stadium sold out on Kanye West's event or concert Yabada Holdings up in there in Los Angeles, those ends of California, Jechisawe, or a stadium Jesangibwa, Jabaita SOFI Stadium. Actually, this stadium belongs to the National Football Council. It's like Chiringa Onalaba Mandela Stadium, Obanga Lugogo Stadium, Mpola. So that's the SOFI Stadium up there. It belongs to the National Football Council. Jibatero okuzanyira zino teams etwala beza performing a Super Bowl mpola. Jitero okuzanyira omupira gwazo mpola. So on this particular concert, Kanye West put up the craziest and the first ever set design in the music history mpola, where he made a stage that is more of the earth look. Stage yabadde fanana ngensi ngensi yaffe we yakula. So mya yakoze staging efanana bwetyo, and of course it sparked different reactions of different people okitegeera on earth actually, in Uganda, in USA, in I don't know, anywhere in the world. People have been talking about this particular stage of Kanye West in Mpola. But before him holding this particular concert, he was in a certain interview and he was like, yo man, how much does the earth cost? I want to buy the whole earth so that I can be the king of the earth. Kati Kanye West ina statement zajiza kola yengo omuntu, and some people feel like sometimes zigenda nezinobo banezivako okitegeera, but we shall all remember he's one billionaire artist. He's one of the artists abasinga sente mu nsi yonna. I think after Jay-Z, Kanye West ayinza okuba yaddako mbayimbi abasinga sente mu nsi yonna okitegeera, but on different occasions ajja akola ebintu ebi-contradicting ebyetera abantu okubusabusa entegeera ye mu mbeera emu oba endala okitegeera. But of course that's the stage nga yomugiraba awo mpola okitegeera. Yabadde yeetoloola actually ng'ensi weebeera wenyini yabadde yeetoloola okitegeera akwasa ategere nje bakakoze wali wagulu yabadde ayibiridde because for him he used to yada asobola okuba nga movinga around okitegeera but still ngayo stage esonga eri kikwasaganya kyokubanga yeetolola mpolampola but I feel like now Kanye West kyakola kye bayita okubeera sito omutuufu nti ye buli wajja okubaako kyakola akireeta nga kiri extra ate nga kiri unique nga kigenda kwewuunyisa ate nga kyakabi okitegeera kati eyo bukyanga event zibeera mu nsi badde tebafunangayo kirowoozo kikola stage bwetyo ye omusajja yaze nakola stage ng'eringa nsi after him asking how much is the earth because I want to buy it and I be the king. Man like Kanye West up in there, mpola. So, leaving Kanye West aside, I just felt like, yo man, I needed to bring this and of course, to get a coco stage here, mpola. There's no way I could leave this particular show minus talking about the stage. So, on the other side, mangu. Gucci, omibi amanyikidwa nga Gucci Man. He has big songs with artists like the Migos, Quave and Offset. Take off mpola. Ochitegera is one American rapper, businessman mpola. But of course, real quick about this gentleman. This gentleman was hijacked and robbed by an artist he had signed under his record label. Okay, so onomwami Gucci Man ayino muyimbi gwe yali signing am record label yake wabayimbi kuliko omugwe bayita Pooh Safe, and of course we have in the 30 bag up in there. But ali mu studio in the course of the week mpola nga ali recording a few tracks here and there. So ono muyimbi Pooh najja ne 30 bag ne bamusalako mu studio. For him at first he thought like just he was because bayimbi be bali under record label ye, so yada alowooza wabaze just kwogeramu about business releases and all that kind of vibe. Ekyasiza okumwewunyisa Pihu ala umise Pihu who they have najjayo pistol gunshot. The first set it was a gunshot, but on the other side nebagamba yabadde AK-47. Najjayo mundu namugamba gwe sebo ogenda kusayininga ku bino ebiwandiiko ebinzija mu record label yo, okitegeera kiringa kumacha kinga kinakera kumacha swangs nga signing omuyimbi najja ne gaali ne bateka ba boss kuninga ne bagamba nze njagala signing contract yange nga namuleta contract nge musigninga off the record label by force, okitegeera mpola. So bamaze okubanga bamusigning seyo contract eretera ono omuyimbi we neno chaliwo mulalo okubanga bava mu record label ye ne bamubako ne yabadde ayina jewelry. Omanyi those are how those American artists be. Baba ne jewelry, baba na masawa gakabi byonna omusajja n'abimuggyako mpola. But the good news is apparently they are under the police custody. Babakutte the whole team that hijacked the gentleman while he was in the studio, and of course wali under interrogations, and of course wajja kwabalaba on how to charge them. Era nja kuba following up the story bagambe like what's really happening with Gucci Man and his musical camp up in there. But the situation in the studio was intense because our resources said that some of the people in the studio fainted, some of them vomited. Okitegeera yadde so intense because wajja yasazeko ne gaali nga bonna bayina mundu, and they put people under arrest. And of course, force them to sign a few things here and there forcefully without their, approval in one or the other. So I'll be following up with the story, and of course I'll be giving you more hits. People that love Gucci Man music, but of course it's safe and of course sounding. But apparently the artist is off the record label. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was it for the trends of the week mpola. But what we're going to do is simple. We're going to go short commercial break, and of course when we come back tugenda kuba tutandikira real quick. We have movie reviews there, we have some trendy fashion updates up in there, and of course tugenda kuba tuyitamu mpola. Nabagambye njagala mumpe shamusoko peche ekifaananyi nga tetunagenda mu break. Ekifaananyi